Hi, the question will appear on your screen in few seconds. Please pause this video to solve the question on your own, and once you are done, resume the video to check the solution. Here is the question. Let's now start with passage analysis. The heavy traffic in Masana is a growing drain on the city's economy. So the problem that we are discussing here is heavy drain, and it is a growing drain. That is, it is the impact is increasing. Its negative impact on the city's economy is increasing. The clogging of the streets of the central business district alone cost the economy more than $1.2 billion over the past year. So this is a case in point that if we just consider these streets of central business district, the clogging here, the heavy traffic here, cost the economy more than $1.2 billion over the past year. So this is an example given to explain the impact. In order to address this problem, which problem? Problem of heavy traffic. This is the problem that we are dealing with. And in order to address this problem, officials plan to introduce congestion pricing. Okay, what is congestion pricing? By which drivers would pay to enter the city's most heavily trafficked areas during the busiest times of the day. So, what is this congestion pricing? The congestion pricing is the plan to make the drivers who want to enter the city's most heavily trafficked areas pay. If they want to enter during the busiest times of the day, they have to pay for it. All right, so that is the plan, and that is the plan of the officials in order to tackle this problem of heavy traffic. So, what is the logic here? Right now, the thing is heavy traffic is the issue. So, what is the plan? The plan is to ask drivers to pay for entering the most heavily trafficked areas during busiest times of the day. This is the plan, and they think this will solve the issue of heavy traffic. So, what is the logic? The logic is that if drivers are asked to pay for entering these areas, fewer drivers would enter these areas because they have to pay. So they have to pay something. So that is why if it is not required, if they can take some other route or something else, they would not prefer to enter this area. And that is how the issue of heavy traffic will be resolved. This is the logic. Now, with this understanding, let's update our bridge table. So here, if the passage logic was clear and correct, mark a tick here. Otherwise, if you missed anything, mark a cross here and write down the exact reason here. Conclusion. The conclusion is not given to us as such. So what is the conclusion? Let's look at the question stem. We know there's a plan. So most likely the conclusion will be about success of the plan. So let's see the question stem. Which of the following, if true, would most strongly indicate that the plan will be successful? So plan will be successful is the conclusion. How do you state it? That asking drivers to pay for entering these most heavily trafficked areas during busiest times of the day, this plan will be successful in resolving the issue of heavy traffic. So if your understanding of the conclusion was correct and complete, mark a tick here. If you did not understand this conclusion properly, if you did not understand that it is not just a plan, it is about the success of the plan, or you misunderstood anything else, mark a cross here and write down the exact reason here. With this, let's move to analyze what the correct answer choice should convey. All right, so we know that the question here is saying that which of the following, if true, most strongly indicates that the plan will be successful. We know the plan is to ask these drivers to pay before entering these areas during the busiest times of the day, and success means that it will be able to resolve this problem of heavy traffic. So, because we are looking for a strengthener, it means the correct answer choice will bring in a new piece of information because the strengthener brings in a new piece of information. So the correct answer choice will bring in a new piece of information which will convey that the requirement to pay to enter the city's most heavily trafficked areas during the busiest times of the day, that is this plan, will solve the problem of heavy traffic in Masana. So that is what the correct answer choice has to convey. It has to convey that this plan will be able to solve this problem. Now, this is what you should expect from the correct answer choice. If you have to pre-think, you can pre-think some of the scenarios. For example, one scenario can be that at least some vehicles will not enter these areas during busiest time of the day because of the fee that they have to pay. This can be one of the strengtheners. You can think about other strengtheners. This is something which we say is rethinking, but even if you do not pre-think, you know what you need to expect from the correct answer choice. You have a very clear understanding of that. And with that, we can move to answer choice analysis. Before that, let's update our bridge table quickly. So if you identified what the correct answer choice needs to convey, if you were able to do it correctly, mark a tick here. Otherwise, if you were not able to identify this thing correctly, or you made a mistake, or you skipped this step, then mark a cross here. This is an essential step for every question that you solve. With this, let's move to answer choice analysis. Choice A. Approximately 1/5 of the vehicles in the central business district are in transit from one side of the city to the other. All right. So we know that this central business district has been mentioned here. Okay. Now this choice says that approximately 1/5 of the vehicles in this area are in transit from one side of the city to the other. All right. That is the meaning. But what is the impact? If they are moving from one side of the city to the other, what does that mean? Does that mean that the plan will be successful, or does that mean that the plan will not be successful? We cannot say anything about the success of the plan. This choice, it neither conveys that the plan will be successful nor that the plan will not be successful. It does not have any impact on the success of the plan, and that is why this choice is incorrect. If you selected choice A, go back to your bridge table and understand where did you make a mistake. Were you not able to understand the meaning of choice A? That is the first step. Or did you not align choice A with what the correct answer choice needs to convey here? So wherever you made a mistake, mark a cross there and write down the exact reason. With that, let's move to choice B now. Choice B. Planners expect that without congestion pricing. Okay, so we are now talking about a scenario in which congestion pricing is not, it has not been implemented. So in that case, planners expect that traffic in Masana is likely to grow by 6% in the next 5 years. So if it is not implemented, then traffic in Masana is likely to grow by 6% in next 5 years. So it shows that what will happen if the plan is not implemented. And it indicates that the issue will become more severe. Does that mean that implementing the plan will resolve the issue? Because if the answer here is yes, this would be a correct strengthener. If the answer here is no, it would be an incorrect strengthener. And the correct answer here is no. Plan is not implemented, and that makes the issue even more severe, does not indicate that implementing the plan can resolve this issue. And that is why it is not a correct strengthener. Now look at this choice carefully. It is a trap choice, and you will see such trap choices further also in other questions also. The conclusion here is whether the plan will be successful. You have to strengthen it. This choice is saying what will happen if the plan is not implemented, and it is conveying that if the plan is not implemented, the issue will become even more severe. But our conclusion is whether implementing the plan can resolve the issue or not. And that is why what will happen if the plan is not implemented, whether the issue will become more severe or not, is not relevant to whether the plan can resolve the issue or not. And that is why this choice does not increase our belief in the conclusion, and that is why it is not a correct strengthener. If you selected choice B, please go back to your bridge table and update it accordingly. Choice C. In other urban areas, so we are now talking about other urban areas, congestion pricing, so we are still talking about congestion pricing in other urban areas, has strongly encouraged carpooling, that is sharing of rides by private commuters. So this choice is telling us what is the impact of congestion pricing in other urban areas. When they implemented congestion pricing, it has strongly encouraged carpooling, which means that it has helped reduce traffic. Now, what does this mean? Does it mean that it will definitely reduce traffic in Masana? The answer is no. We cannot be sure that if something has worked in other areas, will it definitely work in our area? We cannot say. However, does it increase your belief in the plan that congestion pricing can reduce traffic in Masana? Notice the word can. Can it reduce traffic in Masana? Can it be effective in this area also? The answer is yes. And that is why this is a correct strengthener. The correct strengthener does not need to prove that the plan will be successful, right? We don't have to be sure about it. The correct strengthener just needs to increase our belief. Can it reduce? If it has helped in other areas, if it has been effective in other areas, can it be effective in Masana also? The answer is yes. Your belief in the plan increases, and that increase in belief is what makes this choice correct. So whenever you are evaluating strengtheners, don't look for choices that can prove the conclusion to be correct. That is not a requirement. Anything that can increase your belief, that can make you believe in the plan, is a correct strengthener. So if you rejected choice C, go back to your bridge table and examine why you rejected the correct answer choice and write down the reason here. Most likely it will be that, if it has worked in other areas, we do not know if it will work in our area or not. And this is a very important thing that you need to, because there are a lot of questions that have these kinds of answer choices, and you have to evaluate those choices properly. It's not that every analogy will be the correct answer, and it's not that every analogy will be the incorrect answer. You have to evaluate the analogies correctly. You have to see whether the case is actually supporting our case or not, and then make your decision. So with this, let's move to choice D now. Choice D. Several studies have shown that a reduction in traffic of 15% in Masana could result in 5,500 or more new jobs. So this choice tells us what several studies have shown. What have they shown? That a reduction of traffic in 15%, if we reduce Masana's traffic by 15%, this will increase the number of jobs. It will result in more new jobs. So this is the impact and, in fact, the benefit of reducing traffic. It is nowhere related to whether the plan will be successful or not, which is our conclusion, and that is why this choice is incorrect. So if you selected choice D, please go back to your bridge table and update it accordingly. Coming to choice E now, over 30% of the vehicles in the city's center are occupied by more than one person. So we are saying that the vehicles, we are talking about vehicles in the city's center, and we are saying over 30% are occupied by more than one person. So vehicles that have just one person are less than 30%. But that does not impact the chances of success of our plan. Our plan may still not be successful, even if over 30% vehicles are already occupied by more than one person. Our plan can still be successful, it can still not be successful. This choice actually does not have any impact on the conclusion, and that is why it is incorrect. So if you selected choice E, please go back to your bridge table and update it accordingly. So we are done with this question now, and you have your updated bridge table that tells you what kind of mistakes you made in this question. Hope you will be able to take the corrective actions for these mistakes and not repeat these mistakes in the other questions. If you need any help deciding the corrective actions, do let us know.